Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. And this will be a touchback as Ed said. Line.
Ready?
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. First carry for Najee Harris. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Let's go. Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. They'll look to throw. They'll get this complete to Calvin Austin. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play. A nice throw right there. And Charles, this is game number 2 in the NFL for this young rookie. His guys getting the victory last week, and he played pretty well by most accounts. Curious, what did you see?
I saw something similar to what you described, Brandon, because I saw a guy who looked the part, a guy who was in command, not just with the touchdown passes, but definitely looked to be in control of the offense as well. And you and I both know that's often uncommon for a rookie quarterback.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles, knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
Now a first down carry for Harris. Oh, able to avoid him. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris, his second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Steelers get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. They start the ground with Nick Chubb, and he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Off of play action, it's Watson. He's going deep for Brown. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest with a guy with that type of speed. You do so. Send him deep. Try to throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. The Browns send out their punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Now Austin. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. There he goes, left side. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets him on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick 6.
And I know from experience throughout the week when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick 6s and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down.
Here we go, here we go.
They'll drop to throw. Lee tossed it here over the middle. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
On the set. Let's get that ball, Neil. Let's get that ball. Set up.
On second down, this is Harris. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on the punt for the first time this afternoon. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The Browns drive about to get started. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. A good run there off right tackle in old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. Chubb will get the call running left. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. The Browns had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener, and they were given a gift of 2 straight home games to start the campaign. Dropped one of them already. You have to figure a split of these two probably imperative.
And they did talk about that with us prior to the game, about how important it is to start the season 1-1, especially with 2 games at home. Because if you go 0-2, hard to make those up on the road as the season progresses.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Back to throw, Watson. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 36. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Chubb on the counter. There on the tackle, Minkah Fitzpatrick. This defense for the Steelers, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 7-7, our score after 1. Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11. Watson a little touch pass on the jet sweep. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 12, Watson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Following that sack, Watson and the Browns backed up for a 3rd and long. He'll drop to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. T.J. Watt drops him again for the 2nd straight play, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
York able to send this one through, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked out officially at the 21. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv, and you run into a tough crowd.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
In motion right here comes Johnson. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a give, running left is Harris. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Back to throw. And that is incomplete.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
And now comes the field goal unit on. And boy, this is asking an awful lot here. Maybe that's an understatement. And now the kick short, but this is a live football picked up in the end zone. He's past the 30. Past midfield, look out. And he will get this into enemy territory. A great return there on the missed field goal. Good field position to start the drive after the missed field goal. Here's first down from the 42. And trouble trying the middle here. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 1. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Let's go.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive, 1st and 10. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Harris running straight ahead. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but he stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to work for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. And this is caught. It's Brown. Touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So that pretty conclusively, I might add, shows you the perils of going for it and not making it on 4th down. One play, touchdown.
Yeah, and I've got to put this on the man in charge, the head coach. He made the decision to go for it. To me, when punting was the only decision to make, and it backfired on him in a big way.
Extra point by York is up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. As this offense gets ready here for this drive, Charles, you still wonder about that prior drive. Went for it. Oh, he rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football.
They have been struggling to put points on the board so far, but you don't want to lump it all on the rookie quarterback. He's definitely the root cause, and all rookies, they have those learning experiences in their first year. What they're hoping for is that he can learn on the fly, work through his struggles against his defense, and at the same time, still find a way to put them in a position to win.
And they get to him quickly here as he stops right around the 13. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now it's Watson. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Excellent recognition that none of his receivers were beating coverage and getting open, so he just threw that one away. They'll come back to the huddle, reset, and try something different.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now. Cade York on now for the field goal. From the left hash, this from 34. York able to send this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up. Oh, he fakes a spike. Here's Freiermuth again. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. Well, the fake spike becoming a little bit more prevalent in today's game. It worked there.
Those old days of brother-in-law in the play, you know, where you kind of know what they're doing. They're going to spike the ball and the play's dead. Everyone just kind of relaxes. Those are gone, aren't they? Because now they're faking it and completing passes downfield. They make you look bad, and they hurt you in the yardage category, too.
Brother-in-law?
Yeah, you know, where you kind of do it together, like, you know what I'm going to do, I know what you're going to do, and you just hang out.
Can I steal that one?
Yeah, you can have that one.
That. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop the throw. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Now a field goal forthcoming for the Steelers. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is good. And that will move the deficit from 20 down to 17. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
They're watching the film, and it's working. They'll come out throwing here on first down. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Let's go now.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. He'll look to throw. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. The Browns drive about to get started. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Watson. And that is taken in by Njoku. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the defense. They leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Browns. Hard to believe that arm strength was a knock on Deshaun Watson coming out of Clemson, but he showed what he's got there. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Running a jet sweep. This is Austin. 7 yards there and a first down. They'll set up a throw. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception and do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now.
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Second down, here's Chubb again. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 78 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On third down, it's Nick Chubb. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on third down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They run it again with Chubb. And he'll get this to the 22. So they began the play at the 11, and it's a gain of 11. First down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop?
From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They go with Chubb on second down. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it first and 10. They'll try the air now with Watson. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. Touchdown! David Njoku. A 12-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point by York is up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over. He's got a man, complete, and he'll be taken out of bounds all the way down near the 35-yard line. A big play that time for Pittsburgh, and even 40 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a first and 10 all the way down at the 35. Back to throw here. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Third quarter action. Appreciate you joining us from Cleveland, Ohio. Second and 10. Looking to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Austin. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. They hand this off to Harris. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. 2nd and 2. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Calvin Austin, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. Oh, now they're going to fake it. And it's caught inside the 5. And he gets into the end zone. We'll give him credit. They're not going to take this deficit lying down. They get 2 closer here on the fake extra point. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this run?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going to pill.
He's got a man complete. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. Before they can snap it, time runs out on this 3rd quarter of play. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Again, running right is Chubb. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Watson looking for his running back, and he's got him. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. 3rd and 7 now. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Watson down to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Now Watson will step away, and out comes Cade York to handle this 4th down field goal try for the Browns. York able to send this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play. So hopefully we'll never be in this type of situation again.
And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
But we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit. But how about guys who are maulers? Because that's who you want in short yardage situations. And we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running.
Here we go, here we go.
Back to throw now on first down. That swung out wide to Harris. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
19, Tiger.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. They go play action here on first down. He's going to look deep down the field. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 39 yards there, a big one.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Calvin Austin, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Steelers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Coaches must really like to see that from the quarterback because he's had the interceptions in this game, but they're able to connect on the touchdown pass.
And teammates love to see that because they know that they miss blocks during a game, but they come back and make them later on. They miss tackles, right? They miss making plays. But the spotlight is magnified on your quarterback. And when he stands up to the pressure and comes back and throws a touchdown pass after throwing some picks earlier, they feel great about that guy.
And likewise for him personally, as a rookie quarterback, has to give him more confidence. And he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for 2 does not pay off as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down.
Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the fourth quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? There's so many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Off of play action, it's Watson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter.
Following that sack, Watson and the Browns backed up for a 3rd and long.
He'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28.
So Watson will step away, and out comes Cade York to handle this 4th down field goal try for the Browns. York able to send this one through,
and that will extend their lead even further.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try to put points on the board.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
This game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Now back to throw. And this one is incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
The offense on 3rd down, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Trying to pick it up on the ground for Harris. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Now a 1st down throw, Watson.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead. But I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense goes down the line of scrimmage.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. Here's Watson. That's out to Chubb, complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, so much for holding them to a field goal. The pressure they got home on the previous play didn't hear. And that bought their quarterback some time to find a receiver. And it sets up a 1st and goal.
Throwing now, Watson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. T.J. Watt able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick.
And the Steelers are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line.
If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football.
Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Going out wide, finds Chubb. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.